my fellow residents at Green Spring. Today is Thursday, July 16th, 2015. I'm Fran Duval, your host for today, and I'm very pleased to be the person to welcome, I think you were welcomed once before, but to the community, our new volunteer coordinator, replacing the irreplaceable Elka Martin. And Kimberly Nelson is here. Kimberly, good morning. Both of you, good morning.
We're glad to be here. Well, you know, there's been a lot of changes, it seems like, lately. And one of the things we like to really make sure is that we're updating residents on exciting changes, like when Elka retires, but also exciting changes as people come on board so that residents will be able to get to know them. And so residents may recall that volunteer programs is now also under philanthropy because it has to do with our charitable mission of gifts of time and service into the community. And so as Elka retired after really a great tenure here at Green Spring, we are super, super excited to welcome Catherine Noble back to the Green Spring family. And she's going to tell us a little bit about herself, but Catherine and I have known each other for many, many years, both at Green Spring and previous employment locations.
Oh, interesting.
And I was just thrilled that this was an opportunity she was willing to sort of take on, because as you know, when you are coming into a position that it really has a strong established program, it can be a little intimidating, and you really need someone who comes from a position of strength and confidence, and who understands volunteers and understands senior volunteers. And Catherine is really the right person for the job. So we're really excited she's here.
Sounds like we're really fortunate.
We are so lucky. So I'm going to let Catherine talk a little bit about her, but and if we'll just go from there.
Well, Catherine Noble.
Yes.
Is your name.
It is. And first of all, thank you, Fran and Channel 6, for having me on. I feel very important. Second week here at Green Spring, and I'm already on Channel 6. So that's great. To tell you a little bit about myself, I have been working in healthcare for about, over 25 years, and the time goes by very quickly when you're doing something that you truly enjoy and that you're passionate about. So my concentration has been working with resident programs and volunteerism. Two things that I feel very passionate about and that I believe bring value to the community and quality of life for each and every person that lives here. So I actually worked at Green Spring previously, and I worked at Green Spring when it was Renaissance Garden. I know it's Garden Ridge now. So I worked in the activities department there, absolutely loved it. But most recently, I was at Ashby Ponds. Some of you may know that Ashby Ponds is our sister community, an Erickson community, and it is a newer community. So I was part of the startup team, startup team at Ashby Ponds, starting up their continuing care. And that's about a little older than a year and a half now. So that was great opportunity for me to be part of that startup team to really start those resident programs and the volunteer programs. And then one day I was sitting at my desk and Elka Martin called me, the famous Elka Martin, and she said, "Catherine, guess what? I'm retiring." And she went on about all the wonderful things she had planned for her retirement, the kayaking and all those great things. Elka just loves life. And then she said, "You know, my position's going to be open." So it took me all of about, I would say, 1 to 2 seconds before that light bulb went off, and I thought, oh my word, what a wonderful opportunity to really be able to concentrate on volunteerism and to be able to come back to Green Spring, because I consider Green Spring my home. I worked here before, and my in-laws live here. So,
and where do they live?
Yeah, they live in Oak Hill, and they've been here for, I guess, about 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
So for me to be on campus and be close to my in-laws is...
Would they mind you telling their name?
Oh, gosh, no.
Okay, who are they?
Jean and Dolores Noble.
Okay.
And they're lovely people. I know sometimes you hear these horrible in-law stories, but not in my case. They are just beautiful people and have welcomed me from day one, and I just love them dearly.
There's a picture.
Oh, yeah. And this is a picture of my husband, Chris, and my mother-in-law, Dolores.
There you go.
That, I think, was taken on Mother's Day. So I'm here at Green Spring a lot, and now I'll be here every day and be able to really come over and visit with them. And
they're lucky.
Well, I'm truly lucky. So that's great. Tell you a little bit about my personal life. I've just celebrated my 25th wedding anniversary. Yay! And it went by very fast. My husband is Chris, and we live in Clifton, Virginia. We have 2 wonderful children, 23 years old, our son, and he just finished his first year teaching high school history. This is a picture of my wedding day. Boy, I haven't changed a bit, have I? My husband does not have that much hair anymore. The picture down on the bottom was my son, our son, just moved out of our house, and this is in front of his house in Arlington, and we're like, yes! And I think we went to go get drinks after that.
Right. Why not?
So we also have a daughter who's not in this picture, but her name is Lauren, and she is 21 years old, and she is in college. And this is Lauren here with my mother-in-law, Dolores. And Lauren is actually right now currently in Ireland studying abroad. She'll be back next week, and we're excited to see her because she's been gone most of the summer. She actually wants to be a police officer. She's very athletic. She plays softball in college, and just a really outgoing girl. So we're very proud of both of them.
This is great.
So I'm just thrilled. Thank you. It's so great to be back home at this community. Green Spring is absolutely the best community ever, such an active community, and I'm just thrilled to be able to really contribute to the volunteerism and lead in Elka's footsteps.
Well, you know, you talked about the difficulty or whatever, or maybe I said it, about stepping into her shoes, but what also she's done is established very effective programs here, or been a part of their formation. So that makes it a little easier, not that you wouldn't bring your own character to them, but she did a lot of the groundwork. I would think, you know, coming in, she probably didn't leave it in a shambles or anything like that, that you would have to say, oh my goodness, how am I going to fix this? But given that now, talking about all these things about you personally, what do you see happening immediately here that maybe you need people for, or what's coming up? What do you see?
Well, great question. So this is my second week, and that's what I've been trying to do. Is Elka left everything in perfect order, I must say, and she's been a great resource to me. I call her probably every day with little questions, and she's always so gracious to help me out. She cares passionately about what she's established here, and will continue to help me and help the programs here. So right now, we do need help with certain programs. Most importantly right now, hospice volunteers we are looking for. That's a very valuable part of our community to help support our residents who are experiencing end of life. And we offer very specialized orientation and training to become a hospice volunteer. So if you're interested in that, that's something certainly we need.
What kind of qualities would someone need to ask to be trained in that?
Sure. So to be a hospice volunteer, certainly compassion, patience. You know, you have to have a love for that, and you have to be able to have some ideas of how to really comfort someone at the end of life, and we do help with that training.
Okay.
Also, at Garden Ridge right now, they have a very active beauty salon, and they are looking for volunteers to help escort residents to and from the beauty salon. So that's another opportunity.
Now, if someone calls wanting to do that, they would be given time slots of how much time they need to commit to any given day to do that, or
that's right.
There's a schedule, obviously.
Yes. So I work directly with the beauty salon, and they have certain targeted hours that they really do need extra help. They do have volunteers there currently, but there are some openings. So if someone calls, they can call me in my office, and the phone number to reach me, and I can give them more information about volunteerism. at the beauty salon and other opportunities. So they would call 703-923-3154.
Okay.
And I can give them more information about
Good,
volunteers.
and the number is up on the screen right now. So what other areas you need help in?
So in addition to that, Garden Ridge is looking for help with their resident programs. So they do a lot of events and programs every day. And some of those programs are small group programs, maybe reading to a resident, maybe sitting with them during a music program. Some events are larger scale events, helping with big parties and maybe garden parties, these things. So if someone would like to do that, they can also call me and I can give them breakdown of exactly what they're looking for. So that would be very helpful.
And all of these volunteer hours help to not only satisfy the need, but satisfy a certain thing in oneself, that you've done something to benefit the community. I think that's very important. So.
Absolutely. A nurse at Garden Ridge yesterday, we were talking, and she was talking about giving in general. She was talking specifically about gift giving and volunteerism. And she said, it comes from the heart, and it's an individual thing. So those people who feel that calling, because I believe it is a real calling, I think they get something in return as well, and they do help the community. These volunteer hours really show what an active community we have. It gives us the love that you feel when you go around campus. We also are needing help with Channel 6. There's lots going on here at Channel 6, and some people might walk by and say, oh my gosh, I've never used a camera, I can't sit here and be Fran, I can't do that. There's lots of training. Many of the volunteers here at Channel 6 learned on the job.
Right.
So we will walk them through that process. If they have any interest whatsoever, we encourage people to kind of explore that, because it's really a great place to work and learn something new and have fun and be creative.
And a great bunch of people.
Great bunch of people.
All these nice camera people that show up
Absolutely.
that probably never did this before in their lives.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
like I never did this before in my life.
That's right.
So it's a fun place. I think they're coming up with a training session or something, aren't they, Kimberly?
I think Diane probably has something on the books for training for the studio.
But again, if you want to do that, you don't.
Yep.
You just can call down to Channel 6.
Yep.
Right.
Call
And-
Channel 6, call Catherine, they'll get everything connected.
Sure.
And you'll be great. One other thing I just wanted to mention about Catherine is that her office and her phone number are exactly the same as they were when Elka was here. So the phone number is exactly the same. And
Where she's located.
Her office is still in Garden Ridge
Yeah.
on the second floor. So
Right.
none of that has changed. She hasn't relocated. So if residents are looking for her or how to reach her, we just wanted to re-emphasize that. And of course, they can always, if they can't track her down, call me and I'll help track her down.
Well, I will say that I know from experience with Elka that you'll be coming on frequently to give us reports of upcoming events, things that you have to ask the community to be involved in, some of the bigger things. And so we're looking forward to seeing much of you, Catherine.
I appreciate that. I did want to say that if someone is interested in volunteering, we do offer orientation. It's once a month. It's the first Saturday of each month. It's held at Garden Ridge in the training room, and it's held from 10 a.m. to 12. And this is absolutely the perfect time to volunteer because our next orientation is coming up on August 1st. And we'd love to have a
Good.
big class. There's lots to do on the campus and an opportunity for everyone.
That's great. And I know that there have been people volunteering over at Garden Ridge who have done it for years.
Yes.
And maybe they need some little help themselves.
That's right.
So thank you very much for coming today, both of you. And we look forward to many more times of visiting with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us.